first moved here, I kind of got a whiff of that myself, kind of understanding that there was a great deal of history to this city, and the fact that some of it was still quite present. And you could engage with people, you could talk about them, but always having that sense of time past and wanting to access that in a particular way. And I think it wasn't really until I connected with Forest City Gallery that I started to really concretize what some of these relationships were, some of these practices were, and some of these spaces were, and what artist-run culture really was. I hadn't really been engaged in a space until I got here and got to know the City Gallery a bit. And it was through that that I got to know a number of artists like Jamili, like Ron, their practices. I got to know them first as figures, and I got to meet them as neighbors and eventually as friends. And then I got to gradually learn about other spaces like the Embassy Cultural House. I heard the other day somebody refer to the Embassy Cultural House as not quite artist run. And I wasn't really sure how to think about that. And that's something that I kind of want to discuss with you as a group too, because to me, like the spirit of artist run culture doesn't necessarily need to be defined in a very particular way. And to me, Embassy Cultural House is an artist space, an artist run space. Maybe it doesn't do all the same things that a place like FCG does, or maybe it doesn't operate in the same way, the same kind of necessarily bureaucratic way or what have you, but I'm still very fresh and new to it. This really great essay in one of FCG's recent publications of Digest, and it was written by two artists who grew up here as the sons of artists, Dylan McCulley and Mac Ledlow. And they talk about growing up in London and hearing these names and seeing these spaces and also seeing people that they grew up learning about either through their parents or through going to Beale. And they express it as a kind of hauntedness. And they write about it in this really beautiful way where, you know, it's both comforting, but also a great deal anxiety inducing for various ways. You are reinvigorating something from the past and giving it a new life. What does that mean for you? And how does that retroactively impact a space that is probably very still present and near and dear to you?